the Boys Railroad Club, featuring American Flyer trains. Their guest today is a real railroader, Mr. Jack Hughes from the New York Central Railroad. The doors open. The boys are just getting started. So let's go inside and see what's going on.
As one train goes into the siding, the other does too. And they pass each other without having to stop. Look at me, Toby! I'm an engineer!
Hey, Herky, that cap belongs to our guest. Excuse him, Mr. Hughes. I'd better introduce the fellow to you. This is Ben, our train dispatcher.
How do you do, Mr. Hughes? I'm sure glad to know you.
Steve, our conductor.
Hi, Mr. Hughes. Glad to know you.
Corky, the engineer.
Hi, Mr.
Hi,
Engineer.
boy, it's nice knowing you.
My kid brother, Herky, a fireman.
Hi, Mr.
How do
Hughes.
you do, Mr. Fireman?
My name's Toby. I'm the president of our railroad.
How do you do, Toby?
And here's our special railroader's cap.
Thank you.
And here's our special observation platform where you can see everything.
Thank you. I'll just walk up on that.
We made that platform ourselves, Mr. Hughes. That's right.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Well, this is just dandy. I'll have to ask the New York Central to have one of these fixed up in my office.
Boy, you must have an interesting job.
I have. I'm the assistant superintendent in charge of operation of passenger and freight trains.
You want to see our trains go?
I'd love to.
Come on, fellas, let's show 'em.
I see you're handling the board there, Toby.
I can control every train and piece of equipment from this control panel. This semaphore signal system is automatic too. See over there?
Our track is just like real railroad track. 2 rails. And our engines make smoke and go. Isn't that good?
It's better than good, Herky. It's like the real thing. You know, on the New York Central, we operate 2,200 freight trains and about 1,000 passenger trains every day. Those trains must be operated with speed and safety. About 100 years ago, the railroads didn't have so much traffic. In fact, people weren't too sure of the railroads. Back in those times, people thought railroads were a fad. Only the brave would ride the iron horse when they could get a real horse. In those days, railroads had very few traffic problems because there were very few trains. As far as we know, the railway signal system was born way back in 1832 on a railroad line in Delaware. It was called the highball signal. When a white ball was raised to the top of the high pole, the track was clear. That's where our railroad term highball comes from. When the conductor waves his arm to the engineer, he gives him a highball or a proceed signal. As the railroads grew, the signal system got better and better. It developed from the main control kind to the automatic block signal system. Electric current flows through the rails in each block, and when the current flows, the signals show safe. But if the rail should break, or a switch be left open, or if another train should stop in the block, the electric current is short-circuited, and the signal warns the engineer of trouble and gives him ample distance in which to slow down or stop his train.
Golly, is that how it works? I didn't know that.
Well, who controls all your trains and sees that they don't get jammed up?
That's the job of the switch tower, Toby. In a switch tower, the director is the key man. He watches the diagram board, and the lights on the board tell him the exact location of every train in his area. And he can manage every one of them with switch controls in the tower.
Boy, what a job that would be. Say, fellas, let's make the locomotive whistle signals we learned this week. Here comes the diesel streamliner, ready with the whistle signals. I'll handle the whistle control button. Train approaching station, 1 blast. The conductor wants to stop at the station. What does he do?
He pulls the whistle cord inside the train, and the engineer hears it in the engine cab.
Right.
And then the engineer blows 3 blasts to say he is going to stop at the station.
Now the train pulls out and something happens between stations. The engineer stops the train. What does he say to the flagman or the rear brakeman?
1 long and 3 short. That means walk back along the rails with a red lantern or a red flag to warn other trains from running into us. Our whistle is right inside the locomotive, just like the smoke is, and the choo-choo.
Okay, we're ready to roll again. How many blasts to blow on the brakeman?
5.
All right, the brakeman's in, and we're going ahead. Now what's the signal?
3 toots.
No, Herky, that would mean we're going to back up.
Oh, yeah, 2 toots.
That's right, Herky. We're coming to a grade crossing. 2 longs, 1 short, and 1 long.
Come here, Harky. I have a present for your railroad club. You give those flags to Toby, and I'll explain to him what they are and how to use them.
Gee, they're little flags.
Here, Toby, a present for the club.
Hey, fellas, they're little flags.
You know. Golly.
Those are engine flags, boys. Pretty soon my railroad will be carrying thousands of passengers going home for Christmas. As assistant superintendent, I'll have to run more trains. When I have more passengers than I have train space, I add a section to a train. Our 20th Century Limited will have 2 or 3 units instead of 1, and they will follow each other from New York to Chicago and back again. Now on some railroads, when a train is running in sections, the first section's engine must carry green flags by day and green lights by night to tell other trains to look out for another train behind. The engine of the last section doesn't have to carry special flags or lights.
Well, what are the white flags for?
Yeah.
They must be carried by extra trains that don't belong on the timetable.
Come on, let's get those flags on 3 sections of number 8 and an extra freight train. Boy, that's something idea. Yo, that's that. I got the 46 too. I got the Hudson. I got the Pennsylvania K5. This one shoots smoke too. Mine's the Hudson.
Let's pretend it's just before Christmas, and the trains are really crowded, and we're really busy. Okay, I'm going over the control switch.
Yeah. You ready, Toby? Ready. Let her roll. First section of 20th century. Watch out for trains to follow. And here comes the freight extra with white flags. And here comes the second section of the 20th century limited. Watch out for trains to follow. Watch out for trains to fall.